What is up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome back. If you were here for my streams last night for the Monday Night Football live streams, had a fun time, had a lot of technical difficulties, and I probably will continue to have those until I get better equipment. But I'm back, and we are talking this Bears versus Jaguars game. I wanted to do this a few days ago, but then some other stuff came up, and then it was Monday Night Football, and we had to live stream it. So now it is today. And I hope everyone is having a good Tuesday. I had to remember what day of the week it is for a second here. Also fixing my camera. And the Bears just got done dominating the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday Football in London. And it was great. I need to make a Victory Monday shirt or something so I have something to wear when we're excuse me, celebrating a Victory Monday. But I don't have one yet. So for now we just have my Shecago Bears. But welcome in everybody to the Shecago podcast. I'm Alexis Jade, where we talk the Shecago Bears. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you for being in here. And let's get into this Bears win. I mean, this Bears team is coming off a hot win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, honestly, I don't think you could have asked for a better game. Sorry, I have when you're trying to talk and your throat suddenly dries up and you can't speak anymore? Seems to be what's happening to me, of course, as soon as I start the live. Anyways, the Bears are coming off a big defeat in Jacksonville, and it was definitely I know everyone, the talk so far this week has been, I think from mainstream media or maybe from fans across the league, has been, oh, well, they're not playing very good competition. And, the talk for Bears media for the most part so far has been how that's a stupid narrative because, we only play what our schedule says we play. And on top of that, I have some side points to that about the teams that some of these people or other teams that we're potentially going against in our division, or, quarterback like Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels, the teams they're going against. And I think this whole narrative that the Bears haven't proved anything just because they've played, lesser teams is stupid. But we will get into that in a little bit. But regardless of how you feel about it, the Bears won. And at the end of the day, you have to give them their flowers for winning. They came away with a big win in London. And sorry, I really don't know what's happening here. And it wasn't just beating a bad team by a few scores. I mean, they annihilated them. So, and that's what you're supposed to do to bad teams. If you're a good team or a decent team, you're meant to annihilate them. And the Bears did. And they've been doing that essentially since week 3. I guess the Rams, they didn't annihilate them, but they still came away with the win. So I'm ready to talk about this Bears domination, and I hope you are too. Oh, I just clicked stream elements. Didn't mean to do that. Bear down. Bear down. I don't know why I said it like that the first time. Bear down. Hello. What is up? Welcome in. Welcome in, bear down. All right, let's get into it here. So the Bears are coming off of a dominating performance. Sorry, there's some noises in my background. The cats. God, guys. My cats were making noise and distracted me. Anyways, the Bears are coming off a dominating performance versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. And we're going to dive in case you didn't hear me say that enough, into the game and our post-game and our reactions here. So let's get into it. As always, I have some of my key takeaways here from the game, so we're going to get into those next. But first, I just want to say how cool of a place. I mean, I didn't get to go to London, but on the pictures and videos that I seen online, it looked like such a cool game to go to, the environment with all the fans, international and fans coming from the United States to go to the international game. Like, it just seemed like the atmosphere was awesome. I've seen some people's vlogs from the games, and it all just seemed so much fun. Like, it all seemed like the energy was really, really high. Beautiful stadium. And it seems like the facilities the Bears were at were super nice. All around, I'm a fan. I would have loved to go to that game. I almost did, but I was not able to make it work with work and everything else. But looked super, super cool, and I'm really jealous of everyone who was able to go. So if you did go to the London game, please leave me a comment below on what your favorite part was, because I'm very curious, because it looked awesome. But getting into our key takeaways from this past game. So, key takeaway, the secondary was still strong. If you were here for my pregame podcast, I mentioned that one of my concerns going into the game was that the secondary was down a few starters, and if the secondary couldn't figure it out with some starters down, it could have been a long day for the Bears defense, and also stopping the run. You know, if we let the Jaguars start running all over us, it could have made it a little bit more difficult. The Bears defense answered. You know, they just like they have since week 1. They have continued to have solutions no matter the opponent. And the secondary was down not just 3 of our starters, because eventually Kyler Gordon also went down. We were also down our backups. Like, our 1 or 2 of our primary backups were also down. So in one position, we were down to our third stringer, our third stringer, and we still were dominant. And obviously, yes, it looks better when Brisker is in there and Kyler Gordon is in there, and you want to see those guys playing, and Tyreek Stevenson. But at the end of the day, this Bears team got going, and this Bears secondary, it didn't really look any slower or any different with its starters out. Granted, we were going against a lesser team, but that's what you want to see. And that was huge for this game. And honestly, props to Eberflus and the coaching staff, because if you have your third stringers coming out swinging like that, like, that's major props to the coaching group for having them not just like building them up talent-wise, but also having them so prepared to go out. So I think Matt Eberflus deserves big-time props for that. So some key takeaways, secondary still going strong. Another takeaway, of course, has to be Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had a great game on Sunday. Yes, he had one takeaway, but overall, he had a very, very efficient game. He performed very well. I mean, honestly, there's not much to complain about. That besides the interception, because it was another off throw on a deep ball. But for the most part, he was very, very accurate. He was getting rid of the ball quicker. He was taking the screens. He was taking the slants. He was taking the throws over the middle. He fit the ball into some really tight windows. I mean, he threw some balls that I was like, that's an NFL throw. Like, that is a top tier NFL throw. So honestly, he looked great. And on top of that, he, once again, it was a key point in my pregame podcast that I want to see him keep using his legs. He's obviously not the scrambler Justin Fields was, but he still is very athletic and agile, and he can definitely use his legs as a weapon, not just as a threat for rushing, but as a threat of moving about the pocket. So I found it very, very encouraging that he continued to use his legs and continue to move around the pocket and pick up yards on his feet when he could. And I thought that was some very positive development as well, and continuation from last week with Caleb Williams. He's reading the defense very well. Obviously, I'm not a film guru. I can't like dive into it as well as other people can, but from what it looks like, he's making his reads. He's going 1, 2, 3. He is dissecting the defense. He's making changes at the line of scrimmage. And props to Shane Waldron, one, for not only a good scheme, but allowing Caleb Williams to make those adjustments, giving Caleb Williams the option and saying, like, this is your offense, go out there and, make the changes. Because I honestly kind of think sometimes coaches can hold a player back from doing that because they're worried about them making the wrong reads. But Caleb Williams, when he's inaccurate, it's not because he is reading the field wrong or he is not seeing a safety that's there. It's just because he is inaccurate with it, which isn't great in itself, but it's a solvable issue because his accuracy was never an issue in college. It just, I think, really has to do more with the timing of his receivers and the routes and everything else. But that part will come. And the fact that the mistakes he's making isn't because he's not being able to read or catch up to the speed of the defense in the NFL is very, very encouraging. So obviously, big takeaway here has to be Caleb Williams. And while we're talking about him, let's dive in here to the quarterback stats from the game. So Caleb Williams finished the day at a 79.3 completion percentage, 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 124.4 rating. Compared to, of course, Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback for the Jaguars, had a 65.7% completion percentage, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 91.8 rating. So obviously, looking at these two stats back to back here, I mean, Caleb Williams was clearly the better quarterback in this game. And I know Trevor was going against the Bears defense, which is very, very good. But Caleb Williams was the better quarterback. And as we all know, he was going up against Trevor Lawrence, who was the former number 1 overall pick in 2021, sorry. Right now, Caleb Williams, 6 games into his rookie season, he's looking like the better quarterback. And it's very encouraging, especially when you see him go up against a team with another former number 1 overall pick and seeing how well Caleb's doing so quickly. Very, very, very encouraging. Next up, a key takeaway, a good offensive scheme. I kind of indicated towards this in my last point here, or I guess I should say previous point, but Shane Waldron has really been opening up the playbook. For as critical as we have been of Shane Waldron, especially the first few weeks in the season, he's really been dialing it up and he's been opening the playbook. And not only that, but he has been, like I said, allowing Caleb Williams to make changes. He has been drawing up very good schemes. He's making adjustments during the games for what the defense is giving. Like, he's doing all the right things. And of course, the path is not going to be linear. Like, there are going to be some games coming up here that probably look rough, whether that be from a scheming standpoint, whether that be from a playing standpoint from Caleb Williams. Like, we're going to hit some more bumps in the road. It's a rookie quarterback with a new play caller. Like, it's going to happen. But that being said, Shane Waldron deserves his flowers, man. He's been scheming up some good stuff. And I genuinely think that part of it also is just him finding the right personnel with the right plays, with the looks at the defense and what, who he wants to use on what, with what look. And I just feel like he's starting to figure that out. So, credit to Shane Waldron as well, because you've seen the changes in personnel and who's playing as well. And it's slowly coming together, which I think should be kind of scary for other teams, because with the defense we already have, if this offense continues to gain traction and continues to figure it out, we're not always going to have, 30-point games. But if they continue to figure some stuff out and figure out how to get the ball moving, it can be very scary for some other teams. So credit where credit is due. Shane Waldron coughing up a good offensive scheme. Speaking of offensive schemes, next up we have Keenan Allen. Getting Keenan Allen involved. I mean, I don't feel like I have to say much here, but Keenan Allen has been waiting for his time to shine. He obviously had the whole injury issue after week 1 with his foot, but he finally, he's gotten some touches here and there, but he finally really got involved in this passing game this past week, and he got in the end zone. Like, finally seeing Keenan Allen get involved was so refreshing because, we brought him in for the vet presence. We brought him in because he's a great wide receiver, but we obviously know that he's older in age for the wide receiver group, and he's probably not at his peak form that he used to be, but he was still meant to be a veteran presence for Caleb and a good, trusty wide receiver for Caleb to lean on, and he was that this game. And I think it's exciting to think about where it could go the rest of the season. And, I always wonder what's going on behind the closed doors. Like, what is Keenan Allen teaching Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze on what he knows about the game? Because I'm sure that is very, very beneficial information and insight that is very hard to get when you're a rookie quarterback, which I think is super cool. And even when he was injured, you saw him on the sidelines, like looking at the tablet with Caleb and like going over stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Getting Keenan Allen involved was very needed. And now it also just emphasizes for opposing defenses that see us on the schedule. You're seeing now multiple guys get involved. You're seeing DJ Moore get involved. You're seeing Keenan Allen get involved. You're seeing DeAndre Swift get involved. You're seeing Roschon Johnson get involved. You're even seeing Caleb use his legs and his arm. Like, that makes it even more difficult for a defense to defend. And on top of that, we haven't even seen like Rome break out yet. And Rome Odunze is getting open, and he's doing some good stuff on the tape. So honestly, I think some opportunities are going to open up for him when teams start really trying to cover Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Rome Odunze is going to be open, and he's going to get open. And it's crazy to think we haven't even fully unlocked that yet. We haven't even fully unlocked Caleb and DJ and Caleb and Keenan Allen. Like, it's crazy to think about the direction we're going and how much more we can do with the talent we have. And last but not least, speaking of DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson, opening up the run game. The run game once again from last week and the end of the Rams game as well is finally starting to get a move on here. And it's not just efficient. I mean, DeAndre Swift is picking up some yards on the ground. And Roschon Johnson is right there behind him for the hard-nosed runs when they need to be made. And the best part is if someone gets hurt, hopefully nothing severe, but if someone had to go out for like a game, we still got Khalil Herbert. And Khalil Herbert's a good running back. Like, I'm still team Khalil Herbert. I still think he's like kind of been the odd man out, and he is still a very good running back. So I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about our run game and seeing it start to get moving. And I also think it's beneficial for other teams to have it on tape, because we're going to go against some harder defenses, but now that they've seen our run game and our passing game on tape, they have to be aware of the threat of all of the above. So I think that really helps make it even more difficult for defenses to plan against us when they see us on the schedule, just because of the weapons and seeing them all start to come to life on the film. Let me check out this comment here quickly. Gene, as a diehard Justin Fields supporter, Caleb's gameplay has been fun to watch. Great wins in recent weeks. Yeah, Caleb has been really fun to watch. He has just continued to improve, and it has honestly been very, very exciting. And I was definitely someone who advocated, I initially thought it would be better to keep Justin Fields and trade the picks back to build up the trenches. And I still definitely think the trenches are a weakness, but seeing Caleb perform, and I never was sitting there saying it would be stupid to draft Caleb Williams. Like I said, I was pro keeping Fields to build up and take the draft capital. But if the Bears drafted Caleb Williams, I would also be happy because I saw the potential in Caleb Williams as well. And I was like, if the Bears do trade Justin, it would be sad. But I know that, Caleb Williams is a very, very high touted prospect. So I was never anti Caleb. And when the Bears drafted him, I was like, all right, here we go. We got a new quarterback. And I got to say, seeing him play, he's really like his deep ball stuff. I would still definitely like to see get cleaned up and see him connect more on those. But for the most part, I mean, he's looking really good for a rookie. 6 weeks in, and how quickly he's reading the defense. He's moving safeties with his eyes. He's getting the ball out quick. He's accurate. Like, I'm just really, really, really liking what I'm seeing. And it's very, very exciting. And I hope Justin Fields is able to earn that starting spot. I saw Russell Wilson is getting first team reps, which I really don't understand, because at this point, Justin Fields has brought, like, he's been leading this offense. You have a winning record, and they just came off of a Sunday night football game away and like decimated the opposing team. So like, what are you doing trying to switch the quarterback now? Also, that messes up our freaking draft pick. So let's not do that, please. Let's keep Justin Fields in so we can get our 4th rounder. But yeah, seeing Caleb Williams excel the way he has been very, very exciting. Now, I do have some game grades to give out. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the whole strength of schedule argument, because I just want to point out everyone's talking about how the Bears have played bad defenses, and that's the only reason they've been doing good, and whatever. And if people want to believe that, that's fine. They can. I don't mind being the underdog if that's the case. But I just want to quickly point out, while we're talking about it, because I wanted to bring it up, the teams that the Packers have the same, which I did this in the live stream last night, so you might be seeing it twice now, but for the Monday Night Football. But the Packers' schedule, if we look it up, they have played, scroll up, okay. They have played the Eagles defense, the Colts defense, the Titans defense, the Vikings defense, that's a good one, the Rams defense, the Cardinals defense, and then this Sunday they finally play the Texans defense. And then they play the Jaguars defense. Like, you can make the exact same argument for the Packers record as you can for the Bears and say, well, they haven't really gone against good defenses, because we've played the Texans. That was a decent defense. And we lost that game, but like, it still holds true that we still have won the games that we're supposed to win. And on top of that, we have a rookie quarterback. And Caleb Williams has continued to progress week by week. And like I said, it's not always going to be linear, but I don't know how you can watch the Bears right now and just completely dismiss them. And even like some of the teams the Lions have played. Let's see here. Lions schedule. Some of the teams the Lions have played have also been I mean, the Steelers have a good defense. The Rams, Buccaneers, Cardinals, Seahawks, Cowboys, like, I would maybe give them a little bit more flowers with the defenses they've played, but nothing spectacular. If anything, Minnesota has been the team that has played the hardest defenses so far, and they're 5-0. So they deserve credit where credit's due. But I don't know. This whole argument of trying to dismiss the Bears and I get it, because we haven't proved ourselves, right? We haven't been to the playoffs in a hot effing minute. Like, I get it. But I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. And I think Sunday night against the Commanders, when we play them, is going to be very interesting, because we have a potential for storylines to go a lot of different directions here, especially with if Jaden Daniels outplays Caleb Williams, then it's going to be like the Bears drafted the wrong quarterback. If the Bears beat the Commanders, I'm sure the storyline is still going to be like, Caleb had a great game, but that Commanders defense is lacking in the talent like the Bears defense have. Jaden went against the better defense. Like, I'm sure either way, the storylines are not going to be in the Bears' favor unless Caleb like balls out. And it's like so good. Like, he has a game like he did this past week, but without the turnover. And then it's like, okay, well, it was so good that you can't dismiss it. But it's going to be interesting. The Commanders have not the world's best defense, but they definitely have a better defense than the Jaguars and the Panthers. So we'll have to see. But I don't know. Like I said, the beginning of the schedule, I'm not going to sit here and say that Bears team is the same one we're seeing now. Like, we are continuing to get better. The offense is figuring it out. Caleb Williams, the offensive coordinator, they're figuring it out. Like, yeah, we've played some weaker defenses, but also this offense is starting to gel, and you're seeing that. And I do think that that's going to carry over as the season goes on. I mean, it's kind of what I predicted when the schedule came out. I said that I thought when we got to the game before the bye week that we were going to start to see an improved offense. We would have the bye, and we would come out a new and improved offense coming out there to end the second half gauntlet of the season. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen, barring any injuries, knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Nothing serious anyways. The Bears can come out of this bye week and just really start with an offense that's been hot the past 2 weeks and just getting healthy and continuing what they were building before the bye, and really go into the second half of the season with a much more in sync and ready to play offense than they had the first few weeks of the season. I see some comments flowing in here, so I want to get to some of you guys. Shecago. I hope the floor falls out for the Steelers. I would like to see Fields succeed there. Yeah, me too. I think it's a good team for Fields. It sucks that he's going through the same like O-line issues. Their offensive line is abysmal. And they don't have a lot of talented wide receivers either. So it really does kind of suck that it's a kind of a similar situation talent-wise that he's playing with, but he's playing good enough to be the starter. Like, I wouldn't be switching him out for Russell Wilson. And the stuff he does bring to the table that Russell doesn't, like his ability to scramble and pick up yards and plow through some linemen, Russell can't do that when the offensive line breaks down anymore. So I don't know. I think it's a mistake if they pull him, but I'm also biased because I want us to get our fourth round pick. FTP. I know. I agree. Hello. What is up? What is up? Besides for the Ravens, who have the Commanders play? I'm an LSU fan. I want to see Jaden succeed as well, but keep the same narrative for both. Agreed. And I was going to bring that up, actually. So Jaden Daniels, Commander schedule. So Jaden Daniels has played oops, that's our upcoming schedule. My bad. The Buccaneers, the Giants, the Bengals, which have a terrible defense right now, the Cardinals, the Browns, who are not the same defense that they were, and then they played the Ravens, who have a decent defense, but they're also not the same defense they were. The Bears' defense is better than them, and their secondary is not very good for the Ravens. So, I don't know. But I agree. Keep the same narrative. Please beat the Commanders for us. I hope we beat the Commanders, obviously. But I mean, especially, I just want the narrative and stuff to end. And I want Caleb to have a good game and this defense to come out strong against. Because that's the thing, too. Like, this will be the first, like, all-around really good. Like, you can argue right now that the Bears have one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL. Like, you might put the Vikings ahead of them, maybe the Chiefs defense, but when the more the season goes on and the more the defense continues to hold teams to 21 points or less for 12 straight games, like, I feel like that stat is just being completely glossed over. Like, that's almost a full season where we have not allowed a team to score 3 touchdowns for almost an entire season. Like, this defense is lights out right now. And this is going to be one of the best defenses Jaden Daniels is going to go up against. And our secondary, if it's healthy, is going to be one of the best secondaries all year Jaden Daniels is going to go up against. So I think it does have the potential. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people are just assuming Jaden Daniels is going to play really well, and he might. Like, I'm not rooting for him to play bad necessarily. I want him to because I want the Bears to win. But, like, I feel in a weird way people are kind of underestimating the Bears defense going into this one. Because I do think this is going to be one of the toughest defenses Jaden Daniels is going to play so far. And honestly, potentially for the rest of their season. I mean, looking at it, they play the Panthers this Sunday. That's going to be a win. And then they play us, and then it's Giants, Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, Titans, Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys. I mean, they got an easy schedule to end the season. They really do. Like, they have a chance to go to the playoffs with this schedule. But, which of course will only push the narrative more. But, like, they have an easier schedule. They're facing a lot of not good defenses. So, honestly, this Bears defense is probably going to be the best defense that Jaden Daniels goes up against all season. So, it's going to be a test. And I do not think the Commanders, my biggest fear for that one is the O-line for the Bears. But other than that, the Commanders do not have like some stellar defense that Caleb Williams is going against. It's better than the Panthers, a little bit better than the Jaguars, but I wouldn't say substantially. But I mean, feel free if anyone thinks differently, let me know. Because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm well-versed in the entire roster of the Commanders. It's going to be a fun game. I agree. I think so too. Bear down, Trap C. It's the most interesting year for sure. A lot of teams injured as well. Kickers are literally making the difference in multiple games for multiple teams. Why? Because of red zone issues. Can't punch a touchdown through. Yeah? No, that's very true. Very good point. Appreciate the content. Just subbed not too long ago. Appreciate you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I guess that should be my reminder because I always forget to remind people. Please subscribe if you're not already. And please like the video if you enjoy the podcast, the live streams. I have more videos coming out soon as well. I'm working on some series stuff for YouTube, separate videos as well. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you enjoy. Looking for the Bears Space Bears merch. Trust me, like it is in my head. Like it is in my head. And if you were here for the live last night, you probably understand the reference. But it will not be, trust me, if you missed it, it will not be the last time you guys hear me talk about space and alternate dimensions during a football game or during a football podcast or live stream, because I find space very fascinating and we really dived into it. Space ghosts and space bears. So if you want to be privy to those conversations, tune into the live streams when I live stream Monday Night Football primetime on Thursdays. It gets crazy. Not that crazy, but you know. Which, by the way, before I get into the rest of the questions here, I do want to give out my game grades from Sunday's win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the offense, I'm going to give an A-. Obviously, we played a great game. However, got to be realistic. The first quarter was really bad. The first drive was really bad. Caleb Williams did throw an interception, so that was one turnover. And DeAndre Swift got the ball popped out. Luckily, we recovered it, but that was technically a second turnover, or at least the second lost ball. So you could almost argue B+, but simply because of the fact of all the scoring that we did, and other than that, how efficient the offense was, you got to give it an A-. I mean, I don't feel like a B+ would have been fair, but I can't give it an A+ because we did have mistakes. Defense, I give an A, only because we did a little bit allow an unnecessary score there in like the third quarter. And I didn't like how the Jaguars marched down the field to start the game. However, we were down players, so I don't know. I was a little iffy on this one. I debated giving an A+, but I went with the A just because of the fact that there was some scores I didn't love. But at the same time, I know we play a lot of bend don't break defense, and it kind of freaks me out sometimes because I'm scared a team like the Vikings or the Lions or the Packers are going to be able to score under bend don't break offense. So I would like it to get a little tightened up, but also I trust the Floofs on his method of madness for this defense. Special teams, I'm going to give an A- because we did have a missed field goal. I know Cole Kmet had to long snap, so I wanted to give it an A for that one just because of that, but or like an A solid, A plus, but I didn't just because, we did have the missed field goal. So all those things average out, giving coaching an A minus, mainly because that's what it averages out to. And then we could have challenged a play that we didn't. Although looking back, it probably wouldn't have been overturned knowing our luck with the refs and the fact that it wasn't conclusive proof that it touched the ground. But overall, I think the coaching performed really well. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, gotta give it an A. So those are my game grades for the Bears versus London. Bears versus London. Bears versus the Jaguars. Brandon, what teams are you going to be watching, looking out for during our bye week? The NFC North. I want someone to lose. I don't know if they will because I was just looking at the schedule not too long ago. But who, let me see here. Yeah, the Vikings and Lions play on Sunday. So I think that's the biggest game I'm going to watch because at the end of the day, one of the Division North teams is losing this weekend. There's no option for all the teams to win this week because we finally have a division matchup. That one could be a really good game. Vikings are coming off a bye, and I'm very, very curious about. Here's the thing. It's hard to argue a team that's 5-0 and say, like, yeah, they're going to get bad eventually. I don't necessarily think they're going to get bad, but I also think, how long can you be good with Sam Darnold for? And I feel like I'm scared saying that and then watch them, like, go to the Super Bowl. But I just feel like at some point, defenses are going to figure out their offense. And at some point, offenses are going to figure out some schemes for this Minnesota defense. And they're not going to be able to hold on forever. And I kind of think the Bears have a shot at splitting with them, depending. And I think how this Lions-Vikings game go is going to be a good inclination of where our division's at right now. So I think that's for sure, like, the main game I'm probably going to be focused on this Sunday is this Lions versus Vikings game. Because either way, one of them's got to lose. And I really don't know who I'm betting on. Because the Lions still don't have a great secondary. And now their defensive line is a little bit bare with Aiden Hutchinson being out for the season. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, there you go. Vikings Lion must watch. Dead Metro 28. As a Chiefs fan, I wish that the offense was better. It's not bad, but at times it's not. Wait. It's not bad, but at times it's not, and we are winning despite of that. Yeah, I'm honestly. Here's the thing with the Chiefs is they always somehow find a way to win, but the Chiefs offense has been, like, normally when the Chiefs are doing well, for at least speaking from a fan who, like, obviously isn't focused on the Chiefs when the games are on because they're not in our division. The NFC North is a powerhouse right now. So, like, I'm focused on my team and these teams in our division right now. But normally when the Chiefs are doing well, like, you're constantly hearing about it on social media or mainstream media because they all love the Chiefs. And right now you're not really hearing it because the Chiefs offense isn't really doing too a heck of a lot. Still finding a way to win games, but it also kind of makes you wonder. I mean, like I said, I would never rule out Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, but it does kind of make you wonder what it's looking like here for the Chiefs as the season goes on. Like, do we think they're going to make the three-peat? I don't know. They always seem a way to find out how to do it, though, so I'm not one to rule them out, but it definitely is not looking the same. It seems like the wheels are kind of slowing a bit. GG. Sorry, let me just take a sip of water here. My throat still has, like, some sort of dry thing, and it keeps making it difficult to talk. Give me one Root beer. Commander secondary is trash. You can get explosive plays on them if you give Caleb time because their D-line is good. Yeah, I agree. That's why I said the offensive line is my biggest concern going into the game because their defensive line is pretty decent. Granted, they don't have Montez Sweat anymore, but yeah, if our offensive line, that's why I'm not getting too hype on our O-line. Like, they did a good job. And I see a lot of people like, our offensive line is coming together. And it is. Like, they're playing a lot better. But they still make me nervous. And this is going to be a better defensive line than we've seen so far, besides the Texans. And I'm a bit nervous for it. However, Caleb Williams has gotten better throughout the weeks. And I do think he's going to sense pressure and be able to get the ball out quicker than he was like weeks 1 through 3. So I do think, I essentially agree. If Caleb can at least get some time, we can connect on some deep passes. However, that also means Caleb has got to hit on those because he's had some issues with hitting some of those deep balls. And I do think a lot of it comes down to timing, but at the same time, you want to see those start hitting more consistently. He has hit on some, but it hasn't been as consistently as you would like. So the opportunity is going to be there. I also think, though, the opportunity is going to be there to kind of slice apart the defense for the Commanders. You know, hit them with some slants, some quick reads over the middle, maybe some more Shane Waldron trickery. And if we can get the run game going, like, we have a pretty good shot against their defense. So I agree. Their defense doesn't terrify me, and even their defensive line, I'm not. It worries me because of our offensive line, but I'm not looking at it as like a stellar defensive line that I'm really scared to go against. So I think if our offensive line can just at least be mediocre, we should be able to get the ball moving. But he's still doing his thing, and Sunday between us and the San Francisco will be a good test for us. You're talking the Chiefs, right? So, yeah, I mean, it will be a good test. I'm wondering when that first hey, actually, the Chiefs and the Vikings are both have no losses yet. And this weekend might be the first time one of them gets a loss, because if the Vikings lose, that's the first loss. If the Chiefs lose, or they could both lose, and then there's no undefeated team left in the NFL. When does the shelving go up and the Chiefs' only saving grace is their defense? Yeah, the Chiefs' defense is very good. Shelving goes up hopefully soon. I don't know. I gotta wait for my stupid shelves to get here, and then I gotta install them. And here's the problem. I'm not bad with building things. I'm not patient enough with the whole measuring and everything else. Like, I would eyeball it and just put some stuff up. And I know that's not the way you're supposed to do it. So we'll see how long that actually takes me. But yeah, hopefully soon here, because I have a lot of decor. I have a lot of like sports memorabilia and stuff to put next to me and around me. The other thing I'm trying to think of, though, is making it cat-proof, which I think is impossible. So I'm trying to get some stuff that I can, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I want to put some stuff on the shelf that won't really get knocked over, and also nothing that's, I'll have to, like, take stuff off the shelf when I'm not home so that they don't break something when I'm gone. Because, you know, cats, they'll climb over everything. The sure defense has been saving us a lot this year. Yeah, the Chiefs defense is very, very good. Get a stud finder and you'll be good. Yeah, well, there's a stud right here. I already know that. Kidding. I mean, there is, but you know. Yeah. That I could, or I could just hammer a little bit in the wall and see what happens. But also, I live in an apartment, so like I can't really, I can use nails, but I can't really, I can't use any screws. And if I could use nails, if I use too many, they're going to claim it's screw holes, and then I'm going to get like money off my security deposit when I move. So I am not doing that. So we'll see. I'm actually thinking of getting like, I have an idea. Just trust the process. I don't even know if I trust the process. I'm totally winging it. Agreed on the Stefiner drum sound. Yes, thank you. I thought it was a good pun too. I thought it was pretty good. I love a good pun. Me and my brother were on the phone this morning, and he's telling me about his aerospace engineering stuff, and it like had a pun in the sentence he was saying, and then we went back and forth for like a solid few minutes just saying puns that weren't even intentional. We were like, I just love puns. So I guess that's the kind of people we are. But yeah, I think this week coming up is the bye. So there's obviously not going to be a pre and post game podcast yet. But, and if you guys didn't see, the game was flexed. There was talks of it possibly being flexed, and then people were like, no, there's no way it gets flexed. It was not to the nighttime game, but it did get flexed to the, what is it? The 425 or whatever game it is. So Joe Burrow was demoted, and Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels have taken over the Sunday night or Sunday afternoon spot at 3:25 Central Time is that game. Which, okay, I kind of like my games at noon, but whatever. So we won't have the pregame podcast until it gets closer to the game. I am thinking of some stuff for the bye. However, I will still be live for, like Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football this upcoming week. So we'll still have some content here coming up and some live streams. And then, like I said, I'm working on my videos that are separate from the live streams for the channel. So, like, hopefully you'll see some more of those coming up here in this week while we have the bye, so I can catch up on some of that content. Congrats on the bye. Are you streaming Thursday night? Yes, I do plan on streaming Thursday night. I might be slightly late because I work late Thursday, and I might get home like 5 minutes before the game starts. So I will be there. I just might be like a few minutes past kickoff, but hopefully I can get it up and running before kickoff. But I do plan on being live, yes. And hopefully my camera situation is not abysmal. Let me see here. Scottish Bear, good morning from Scotland. Good morning. I hope you are doing well. I feel like I was watching a CHGO podcast episode, I think at work. And I swear I seen a comment from you in the chat that you are sharing good news about, like, I'm not going to share what you shared in case you don't want the whole world to know or anything. But I swear it was you that I seen in the chat on their live stream with good news. So if that was you and you had good news about something, then congrats on your good news. That sounded very ominous, but I'm pretty sure. Hopefully it was you and I don't sound crazy. And if it wasn't, then ignore. Would have loved it. The Chiefs would have been able to get Amari Cooper, but that's fine. Hopefully we can find someone else to help on the offense. Yeah. To be honest, I don't necessarily have anything against the Chiefs, but I don't necessarily want to see the Chiefs in another Super Bowl. So, if you guys don't make it there, then like, shucks. But also, since you're a fan of the team, I'm not going to completely shit talk them. But, yeah, I'm okay with the Chiefs not making another Super Bowl at the same time. Sorry. I hate Thursday night football. Bad stuff always happens. Always. Well, let's hope not. Who even plays this Thursday? I don't even know. Thursday night football. Ugh. That's boring. Broncos at Saints. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I'll be live, but I don't think that's going to be a good game. Honestly, though, it might be close. Might be a close game. Did you get a new Bears jersey yet? Thinking O'Doonsey jersey should be in your future. I did not yet. Jerseys are just freaking expensive. Like, I just haven't had the money to spend to buy an $100 and something jersey, but I would love one. I would like to get, I want to get everyone. I want to get everyone's jersey, really. There's not a Bears jersey I don't want right now. But I think my next one I really want to get would be, honestly, I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, I definitely want O'Doonsey. I really want Cole Kmet because I've been a fan of Cole Kmet since we drafted him. And obviously he's a stud and he's from Shecago. How can you not? TJ Edwards. I would love a Brisker, a Gordon. Obviously Caleb Williams, DJ Moore. I'd really like a Keenan Allen because, like, you know, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Would love a Keenan Allen jersey. I want everyone. Jalen Johnson, I want them all. I want all the jerseys. But, you know, they're expensive. So we'll see. Maybe someone will get me one for Christmas. So my hair is falling apart at the seams. Yeah, I presume that puking emoji was to the was to the game because, yeah, it does not look like an entertaining game. I'm worried about our run defense and our O-line. Are you talking Bears run defense and O-line? Against the Commanders? Because I'm also worried about our O-line. Run defense looked improved a little bit last week, so I'm not as concerned about that. It's always a concern because it's not as good as our pass defense, but it's not so bad that we're still one of, if not one of the best defenses in the league. So I'm not overly concerned with our run stop, but we'll see. And I'm curious to see how much the Bears have picked up on some stuff that I've seen, even from looking at, you know, the charts compared to Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and stuff. Like, it's definitely true that Jaden Daniels and that offense cater towards the right side of the field. I've also noticed, and some other people have pointed out as well, that it seems to be most of the time when Jaden Daniels is going and running right, he's passing it, but when he's running left, he's tucking it and running, which I think proves, like, it shows it's true when you look at his passing chart. And, like, it really is, like, primarily on the right side of the field, and then the left is kind of just, like, a few dots here and there. I don't know. I kind of feel like, you know, you got to give Matty Eberflus his flowers. I kind of feel like he's going to be keyed into that and probably have a plan for it. At least I hope so. Broncos Saints, maybe being late to broadcast isn't so bad, honestly. Scottish Bear, yep, it was me. Alexis, my cancer operation went well. I'm getting treatment. It's looking good, though. Well, congrats. I'm glad the operation went well and treatment is going good. I hope you recover as quickly as possible. I'll be right here with you with my little cancer scar, so we can bond over that. But I hope treatment goes well, and I hope you are taking care of yourself and, you know, taking it easy when you can. And I hope it continues to go well. And congrats on successful surgery. How many more hours till super chats happen for your channel, or is it sub amount? It is hours right now. It is, for anyone who doesn't know what they're asking, it's like to get to the point where you can have super chats and, like, memberships on your channel. I've met all the subscriber amounts needed for both. They split it into two, so it's like you get certain perks of being able to have super chats and memberships with the first tier, and then the second tier is when you get ad revenue. So 3,000 watch hours is what you need for tier 1, and then the second tier is 4,000 watch hours. And I'm like, still a little bit of ways in watch hours. I'm like halfway there to 3,000. So it's getting there, but watch hours is hard to get because they don't make it easy to do anymore. I actually had done YouTube way back in the day, like many moons ago, and I had gotten monetized because the rules used to be so much easier, and they took it away because it was on the same channel. Those videos are privated, by the way. Now you will never see them, but they take it away once they up the requirements. So, which makes sense. That was like 7-8 years ago. But yeah, for me right now to get super chats and such, we're just waiting on the watch hours to meet the qualification. I think once they re-sign Brisker, I'll grab one. Fair enough. Fair enough. Chat can chip in on a Rex Grossman jersey for you. Yes, Sexy Rexy. I want it to say Sexy Rexy. You know what I really want to? I've wanted for the longest time since I've been alive. I've wanted the Griswold Blackhawks jersey. I've wanted that for so long. From National Lampoons. I have a Taves jersey. I want a Kaner. I love the Blackhawks. It'd be great if I could watch them more. But they like barely make it available to out of network. And I once went like 2 seasons in a row where I didn't miss, and hockey plays like every other night. They play a lot of games. And I once went like 2 seasons in a row without missing a single Blackhawks game, even when I was working. I made them play it up on the TV, so I never missed the game. And then they went to the Stanley Cup, so you're welcome. Oh. I think we trade Herbert potentially. I don't want to because I still think Herbert's a very high quality back. And in the event someone gets hurt, we're going to be very, very glad that we have Herbert on our team. But there's potential. I think if we get a higher enough offer, Poles would probably do it. But I selfishly hope we don't. Let me see here. Scottish Bear, Washington Commanders, defensive tackle Allen is out for the season. That's a bonus for Coleman Shelton. Oh, interesting. Wait, was this new news? Wait. Oh, it came out. Yeah, yes. Oh, pectoral. Yeesh. That always seems to be like a lineman injury. If I was a Bears team, I'd trade for Riddick. I don't know how I feel about trading for an edge rusher because we have Taylor, we have Sweat, we have Austin Booker, who's going to develop, I think, into a really good edge. And I don't know. I guess it depends what it costs us because we really need our draft capital to get some quality offensive linemen and D linemen in this draft. But I guess it depends what is offered. And I'm not the GM, so luckily I don't have to make those decisions. Thank you for the support, Alexis. I'm so glad you are doing well. Thank you, thank you. I am doing well, and I appreciate that. And I continue to hope for success for you. And I think you will have success. And it starts with one piece of good news, and you're already there. And soon we can compare our scars. Then again, I don't know where yours is at, so maybe it's in a spot where we can't really compare. But mine surprisingly still really bothers me. Like, it's still, as you can see, it's still quite red and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if that's like normal or not, but I've had cancer surgery before. Hope I don't again. So maybe it is normal. But here she is. Hopefully you get those watch hours in no time, now that the NFL season is starting to really generate the content both on and off the field. Agreed. I hope so too. And yeah, like I said, I plan on bringing more content to YouTube. I obviously do quite a few lives during each week, but I want to bring more, shorter form videos for people to watch on the channel. Because also realistically, when it comes to the watch hours, like the shorter videos that are watched on a higher amount make the watch hours go up. But yeah, I also have some plans for some content that I want to make that will make it some also weekly videos and stuff that you guys can watch as well, hopefully. Do you cover NBA, NHL, MLB as well? So I haven't in the past. I really, really wanted to cover NHL, but I've just been struggling to find ways to, because even on the stuff to like stream it, if you know what I mean, isn't always showing Blackhawks. So it's been getting hard to like do so. But I'm trying to figure that out because I really want to also talk about the Blackhawks because I'm a big Blackhawks fan. Big Blackhawks fan. So I want to be able to do that as well. But we'll see if I can do that this season. If not, I maybe at least want to start posting some videos, maybe just like recaps or something from the season so far. I'm still kind of working that one out if I'm not able to do like consistent game things of working out some content ideas for covering some Blackhawks stuff. But as far as MLB, the Chicago White Sox are so terrible that there's nothing to cover. Didn't realize you were a pirate. Wait, why? Wait, I'm missing the funny. What did I miss? Is it the wait, what is it? Why am I a pirate? Did I make a face? What did I do? Oh, I get it. I get it now. I made the connection. Sometimes it takes me a minute to process. I'm there. I'm with you now. We have connected. I am here with you. And I understand your joke, and that was a good one. It just took me, it was cooking, it was churning, and then it happened. So that was a good one. Yes, you understood what I meant. Yes. Okay. Sometimes, guys, it just takes me a minute. But that about wraps up everything I had to cover today. And obviously, like I said, won't be doing a pregame podcast this week because that will be next week when we play the Commanders. However, I will be live streaming Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and I will be posting some videos here in this next 2 weeks before the Bears play. I will have some other type of content out there for you as well on the main channel. Also, if you want to get notified when I will be going live and stuff on YouTube, if you hit the bell, it should be notifying you, because I've had some comments too, people saying they didn't get the notification, but you should. And if you're not, I think there's a setting that you can turn off in the YouTube app, like on your phone, so you don't get notifications from YouTube. And if you do that, you won't get the like if I schedule a live in advance, you won't get the notification that I'm going to go live in an hour or whatever. So that is, I do try to tweet it every time, but like nights like tonight, I was not able to tweet it too far in advance enough. But yeah, on YouTube, it will give you like a proper, like advanced notification. If I was able to get other jerseys for players from different teams, I would get Caleb Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud. That's a pretty decent list. I have some players I would like to get from different teams as well. But I want to get Bears players first, but jerseys are just so dang expensive. But luckily, you guys know what my trick is. I get, maybe I shouldn't say this because they're going to know my trick, but don't tell my secret. I get a child's extra large because it's like $60 cheaper, and it fits the exact same as an adult extra small. So that's my trick, because I save money by getting a child's extra large. Think smarter, not harder. Maybe Ryan Poles could possibly trade either for Reddick or Parsons before trade deadline, maybe. Potentially. Like I said, I'm not ruling it out. I mean, if Poles gets the opportunity or gets something worth trading for, I don't know, sees the draft capital is worth it, he probably will. But because I'm sure he sees this team as a contender in a way. So at least for like the playoffs. Reddick is probably going to be a second. Condition on the pick goes to the Eagles if he's the hiccups. He is a second if he's traded again to an NFC team. So we'll try to get that back, yeah. I did see something about that as well. Wish I could fit in a child's jersey. Yeah, well, yeah. For the most part, it has worked out fairly well for me. So I'm able to save some money as long as they don't find out my trick. So no one telling me. But that about wraps up our podcast for tonight. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your night. It's about 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and I'm going to bed early tonight because I woke up at 3 a.m. from someone's car alarm going off, and the person whose car alarm was going off wouldn't wake up, and so it was going off for like 40 minutes right outside my window. Like facing, I don't know how to word that, but yeah, so that wasn't fun. And I'm tired, and I had to wake up early for work this morning. So I am going to bed early. Not that you all needed that information, but oh no, Curtis, you just got here. But you can recap the live after it's done recording. It will be under the live section on my channel page. I do wish on like YouTube and other videos it would show you went live as well for videos, but you have to go to the live page. But it will be here so you can catch up on what we talked about. But thank you for tuning in, Curtis. Good night and good luck with your ghosts. Thank you. Me and the space ghosts will try to get along. Same way I wish I could fit in a kid's jersey as well, but my size is extra large. Maybe if they make like an extra large child size, advocate for it. Or something of that nature, whatever that equivalent would be. Good night, bear down. I hope everyone has a good rest of their night. I thank you guys all for tuning in. And if you haven't seen the other videos on my channel, check them out because you might enjoy them. I also have the Caleb Williams video up still that talks about expectations for Caleb Williams to win Rookie of the Year. So we'll see, because he's going to play right now the one leading the charge in it. So might be fun to get a recap in that video. But hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I hope you have sweet dreams of Bears wins if you're a Bears fan, and if you're not, I hope you have sweet dreams of your team winning, as long as it's not against the Bears. But I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Have a good rest of your night. And as always, I am Alexis Jade. This is the Shecago Bears. Bear down, everybody.